I want to recommend to you an insane double feature I did recently. Both movies are available on Tubi in the US. They are both 1980s horror thrillers. They're both Australian cult classics, and both are under 2 hours long. But I know you've got that dog in you, and I did it so you can too. Oh, and they both have the word game in the title. Fair Game from 1986 and Road Games from 1981, and yes, that's the order to watch them in. Fair Game is an exploitative cat and mouse thriller about a young woman running a wildlife sanctuary in the outback who spends 90 minutes being terrorized by a truly evil trio of poachers. And though I'm recommending it, I did not really love this movie. It pushed the limits of how much I'm willing to watch a protagonist go through and for how long, but this is where I say it is also insanely gorgeous, shot by Oscar-winning cinematographer Andrew Lesnie, who also went on to make the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So, you take the good with the bad. It also has some truly monumental practical stunt work. You will be gobsmacked by some of the things the production accomplished. Though it does require bearing through a rather flat and repetitive script where the protagonist literally cannot make a good decision to save her life. The one spoiler I'll say is, why weld the guns? Why not use them? But once that's over and all your adrenaline is spent, we're pulling up an Australian take on Rear Window in a Truck. It'll also remind you, like it did me, of Hitcher and Joyride, though this obviously came first. And it stars Stacy Keach, who I know from the Ninth Configuration, yes, weird pull, as an American truck driver working in Australia, and Jamie Lee Curtis fresh off prom night as a hitchhiker he picks up. But of course, that's after he's already spent half an hour of the movie suspecting another driver on the road of being a serial killer. And this movie rocks. Right out the gate, no milling around. It is focused and fun with some spectacular sequences that are predictable but yet still very engaging. Fair Game is an hour and a half, while Road Games clocks in at an hour 41, so to do them both in one night with credits is just over 3 hours. If you have to pick just one of them, I'd go with Road Games. That movie is very fun and tight. Meanwhile, Fair Game has a ton to appreciate, but a little note about the exploitative violence. Apparently the director intended it to be an exploitation of like comic book violence, which doesn't really get communicated because the language of the film is really grounded in straight suspense thrillers. But again, I must emphasize, what it does well, it does exceptionally. I've always enjoyed Australian cinema, but after talking about my love of Gallipoli and Strictly Ballroom on here, I've been excitedly hunting down other Australian movies that people keep commenting whenever I can find them. So if you have more recommendations to hit me with, please don't hold back.